This looks like the tombstone of Rufus. It says the 13th of December 2022 to the 12th of December 2091. The Metaverse, the beta is launched. Anyone who signed up for it last year, yeah, it's in beta testing, so it looks incredibly basic right now, but it's just for the development of it. So, I saw this on Twitter about the Dogelon Mars Metaverse. So what this says here, I mean, you can go ahead and read it, but pretty much the Metaverse was expected to rise from 47.7 billion to 830 billion by 2028, but the market sort of slowed because of the bearish crypto market. But now with AI very prominently coming into the market, I mean, I keep seeing day after day worker robots that are being made by Chinese companies, and I know there's companies in America as well, and it's sort of the race to whoever can get theirs on the market first. They are going to be a large part of the workforce in the future. And I don't know how that fares for a lot of people that are in employment now, because a lot of your jobs will be replaced, because it's a lot cheaper to hire a robot or even buy a robot than it would be to pay a salary to someone year after year. Anyway, this video is not about that. So what this metaverse is doing is it's integrating AI into it so that people who want to create on it, they can literally just use AI by either talking to it or giving it prompts. I'm sure there'll be plenty of stuff on this when the metaverse is released, because if you can be one of the first pioneers on that project, and it might never explode, I'm not saying that it will, but if it explodes, so as I was saying, if you could be one of the first people to build on this platform and it explodes, you could also reap a lot of the rewards from the Rufus chain as well, depending on what sort of strategy the developers use to reward the creators on this platform. So this shows some of the things that that have been made using just AI on it already. There's huge potential for it because you don't have to go through and code everything. It literally gets created just from prompts. It's extremely easy. Now as for the Dogelon Mars price, we are slumping, but if we look here, that's what I said was going to happen. And to be honest, what I'm hoping for is for it to drop below these lows, because when it goes below these lows and then has a rally, there's no chart reason why it needs to come back, because it's done its liquidity sweep. The only potential would be sweeping this low, but I don't think it will get down to that far. If it gets down this far to this sort of market cap, I would be impressed. That is still an awful lot of holders that are willing to sell at this point in time. But then I looked at the buyers and sellers today, so this has a scale on it: shrimp, fish, then you have like a shark, and then you have a whale. So there's a lot of small wallets that are at play right now. I mean, there's a shark there, but not a massive wallet. You can see all of the movements in the market right now: small wallets, small holders, and this is retail trading at its finest. When prices are doing what they're doing, people who actually know what they want out of this, they would have either sold back before here if they wanted to get out and get back in, or they would have just held, at which point, even if they're regretting that choice now, they're not going to sell here because they're most likely going to lose money on it. And also there's no point. There's no sort of bad news about Elon. There's nothing that could go majorly wrong about its progression other than just the developers not developing any further. But I'm assuming they've probably taken some profit out of this, so I assume they've got some money behind them to develop the project. And you see on Twitter a lot, and other places, the developers don't give a shit about the community. This is a fairly, you go back to 2021, but it's a fairly new crypto. And if you created something like this, of course you're going to take some money out of it. You know what I mean? And if they want to develop it further, they sort of need to take money out of it. They've got nothing to play with. They're not going to be able to develop it very fast, are they? And then there's going to be no prospect to it, so nobody wants to buy it. You know, I'm not saying that they're not just taking the money and running off with it. There's obviously that possibility, but they're clearly showing that they're doing something. If you're selling because the price is going down, you're part of the retail cycle. They're getting weak money out of the market, and smart money starts to build up. And it goes both ways. It's either dumb money or it's smart money. It just depends which way it goes. Because if it carries on going down here, you're going to be like, I'm glad I sold. Idiots buying up down here. But then if it goes up, you say, oh, I was an idiot for selling, and these were really smart people who bought down here. no one knows which way it's actually going to go, but you can look at the future prospects of it and whether it has any bad news. You just have to look at the whole thing and make your decision from that. You can't just go off of what the market's doing, because if the market's going down and all the news is good, there's nothing bad that could be foreseen, then the market really means jack shit. But if the market's going down and you've got all bad news and you've got pretty much all odds stacked against you apart from maybe a few, then you can listen to the market. But you've got to look at the entire thing, the entire chunk of whatever you're investing in. This goes for crypto, stocks and whatever. You can't just look at the chart and say, oh, the chart's going down, so I'm out. You're doing absolutely no research into it, or making informed decisions is just out the window. You're just looking at what the chart's doing. Much the same as if you just logged onto an app, saw the first crypto you found, saw that it was going up and said, oh, that's going up, I'm going to buy it. You're going in blind. Same with selling. If you're just selling because it's selling off, you're selling blind. It's no different to buying. So this whale bought 175 billion. That is a large amount. It was for 17 grand. You can still see we have, here we go. So these whales, 124 bill, 143 bill, nearly 100 billion, nearly 100 billion again. Again, this is smart money or dumb money, depending on which way it goes. As it currently stands, with the whole sentiment around Dogelon Mars and the metaverse development and the Rufus chain, there's nothing currently that you could really stack against it. And it's not financial advice. Don't go investing in this just because I've said, oh yeah, it's got nothing bad against it, because you don't know what the future can hold. And I'm not telling anyone to invest in this. If you want to have a look at it, go have a look at it, but don't make the decision based off of me or anyone else you hear online telling you about this. Go and look into it yourself and make that decision off of your own information that you found. More whales buying. This one sold. You know, I'm not afraid to show some people selling off. Damn, this guy bought fucking 93 grand's worth. 701 billion. Fuck me. This guy nearly bought 1 trillion. That's a big whale. That whale sold 100 billion. You can see there's some fucking giant whales that are just eating this shit up. Fucking hell. Imagine having 100 grand to whack into a fucking, like a penny crypto. That's what essentially it is. I do have good faith in this, but I think if I had 100 grand that I could just splash at this, I don't know. I think I'd have to have a lot more other capital to be willing to risk 100 grand on this. If you want to see the price predictions, I'll link the video now and I'll put it at the end as well. But that's got sort of the prediction for this upcoming cycle and future predictions after that. I don't know if anyone watches TGR, but he said there won't be a altcoin season this year because of Pump Fun. Pump Fun ruined it, is what he said. I guess he could be right. There's fucking thousands, maybe, I don't know, even millions of random coins out in circulation now. So the market is a lot more scattered. But then I think the access to Pump Fun is much more of a, I wouldn't say like a hard process to get onto, but not a lot of people sort of know the process to that, and it's not as easy to access as I suppose like crypto.com or Binance. And Binance and crypto.com seem a bit more secure to people. So, you know, there'll be, I think there'll still be an altcoin season. Whether it's as spread out as it was before, I don't know, because there is so many different coins you could put your money in now. So the money will probably be more spread out, but I think there'll be sort of a main central feature of the big players in the altcoin market. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for today's video. I was going to make some more of those AI videos, but the subscription only gives you a certain amount of generations every month, so I've got to wait because I've already paid for an add-on and I don't want to buy another one this month. Yeah, that'll be it. Bye.